Handy Cat Crafts. All you need for this project is 100% cotton yarn in black and orange, and you will also need some knitting needles. I prefer to use these DPNs because they're short. You can also use circular needles or even those really long ones, whatever you have. And these are size 4, which is 3.5 millimeters. I also have this handy dandy pattern that I will be referencing throughout the video, and I will put it towards the end of the video if you want to view it later. Now let's cast on using a long tail cast on with both colors. Place a slip knot on the needle. I like to keep the working yarn towards me and the tail away from me. And now, since we already have that slip knot on here, we will cast on 17, which will give us 18 pairs total on the needle when we're done. And here are the 18 pairs. Before moving on, I want to point out that the first pair of black and orange and the last pair of black and orange will always be worked together. All of the stitches in between will be worked separately, so we have 32 separate stitches in between the first and last pair of black and orange. And then to explain the pattern, this chart does not include the 2 pairs of black and orange at the beginning and end of the row. We have 16 boxes in each row which represent the knit stitches. Every time we knit one color, we will immediately purl the opposite color. This is what creates the double-sided coaster. And just to show you visually, we will alternate knit and purl stitches to create the front and back at the same time. So we have 16 knit stitches for the front and 16 purl stitches for the back. Looking back at our pattern, keep in mind that B stands for black and O stands for orange. Starting with row 1, we will read it from left to right. Row 2 will be read from right to left, row 3 left to right, and row 4 right to left. All odd rows are read from left to right, and all even rows are read from right to left. So row 1 will be all black knit stitches. So let's move on to row 1. The first pair of black and orange will be knit together. This is only for the first row and will be different moving on. Pull the tail tight if you need to. And now, because the cast on gave us a random pattern, we want the stitches to be black and then orange, which this first pair is the opposite. So all we do is simply move the black yarn in front of the orange yarn, just like this. And then knit only with the black yarn. Bring both colors in front, and then purl only with the orange yarn. Repeat that. Bring both colors behind. We want the black yarn to be in front of that orange yarn. So we'll just move it up here. And then we're going to knit only with the black yarn. Bring both colors in front and purl only the orange. Bring both colors behind, knit only the black, and purl only the orange. Once again, bring both colors behind, knit only the black, bring the colors forward, and purl only the orange. And here at the end, I just have to shift this last black one more time, knitting only the black, and then purling only the orange. Here is that last pair at the end. And with those stitches, I just want to knit them together. And that will complete the first row. Now let's take a look at row 2 of our pattern, reading from right to left. We have 4 orange knit stitches, and then we have 8 black knit stitches, followed by 4 more orange knit stitches. This time, instead of knitting, we're just going to slip purlwise onto the other needle, and then bring both of those colors behind. Now let's work on those 4 orange knit stitches. So knitting just with the orange, and because we just knit an orange, we need to purl a black. So bring both colors forward and purl only the black. And then here's our second knit orange, followed by purling 1 black. Bring both colors behind. Here's our third knit orange, followed by purling black. And here's our fourth knit orange, followed by purling 1 black. So you can see our first pair, and then we have our 4 orange knit stitches. And so next on our pattern is 8 black knit stitches. So we're just going to be doing the opposite. So knitting 1 black and then purling 1 orange. Knitting 1 black, purling 1 orange. We'll do that 6 more times. Knitting a black, purling an orange, knitting 1 black, purling 1 orange, and again, let's see, we have 5, so we need 3 more black knit stitches. So here's 1, here's 2, And here's 3. So let's take a look at what we have so far. Here's our 8 black knit stitches, and before that our first pair that we slipped, and then here is our 4 orange knit stitches. And then following the rest of our pattern, we need 4 knit orange. So here's 1 knit orange, followed by 1 purled black, here's 2, here's 3, and here's 4. And then that last pair at the end, just like before, knit those 2 together. And now row 2 is completed. One thing I want to point out is that you will never have 3 of the same color in a row. So you can see here we have 2 black stitches together and 2 orange stitches together. That's okay. You just don't want to have 3 in a row because that means something went wrong with the pattern. Now let's take a look at row 3. Reading from left to right, we will have 3 black knit stitches, followed by 2 orange knit stitches, and then 6 black knit stitches, 2 orange knit stitches, and then 3 black knit stitches. So just like the row before, that first pair, slip purlwise onto your other needle, bring both colors behind, and we'll work on the 3 black knit stitches. So here's 1, followed by purling an orange, here's 2, and here's 3. Next in our pattern we have 2 orange knit stitches. So we're going to knit 1 orange, followed by purling 1 black, and one more time, knit 1 orange, purl 1 black. And then next we have 6 black knit stitches. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here's 6. So we've knitted 6 black and purled 6 orange. Now we need to knit 2 orange. So knit one orange, purl one black, one more time, knit one orange, purl one black, and now knit 3 black, here's one, followed by purling one orange. Do that 2 more times. And then our last pair on the needle, we will knit together. And that completes row 3. Now let's take a look at row 4, which we will read from right to left. We have 2 orange knit stitches, and then 2 black, and then 8 orange stitches, 2 black, and then 2 more orange. So, like the row previous, slip that first pair onto the other needle, and then we can begin the pattern, starting with 2 orange knit stitches. So here's one, followed by purling one black, and here's the second one, purling one black, and then next in the pattern we have 2 black knit stitches. So here's the first one, followed by a purl of orange, and here's the next one, now we need to knit 8 orange stitches, and of course each time we knit one orange we need to purl one black. Here's 2, here's 3, four, 5, here's 6, here's 7, and here's 8. Now in our pattern we need to knit 2 black stitches, and each black knit stitch will be followed by 1 orange purl, and then we have 2 orange knit stitches, here's the last one, and then knit those last 2 stitches together. Row 4 is complete. Taking just a brief look at row 5, we have 1 black, 2 orange, followed by 10 black, 2 orange, and then 1 black at the end. Continue the pattern all the way up to row 24. So fast forward here is my row 24. And this is an easy row because all the knit stitches are orange. And like all the other rows and all the other stitches, when we knit one color, we purl the opposite. So this whole row, after we knit 1 orange, we have to purl 1 black. And finally, here we are at the cast off. So first, slip that first pair onto the other needle and kind of pull the yarn up just a little bit. Bring that yarn to the back and then knit 1 black, purl 1 orange, bring that yarn to the back again, and then we want to take this pair right here and pull it over the left 2 stitches off of the needle. Just like that. And then pull up that yarn just a little bit. We don't want the top to be too tight. And repeating, so knit 1 black, purl 1 orange, and then bring that right pair over the other 2 left stitches. And this one I'm just going to do 1 color at a time. Sometimes that's easier. And then pull up the yarn just a little bit so the top isn't too tight. Once again, knit 1 black, purl 1 orange, and then bring those 2 right stitches over the left 2 stitches and off the needle, pulling up the yarn just a little bit, and continue. Pulling those stitches over and off the needle. So here's our last one. We're just going to knit those 2 together. And then, same as before, pulling those right stitches up over the left ones and off the needle. Cut your yarn and then pull that yarn through. Straighten the corners just a little bit, weave in those ends, and enjoy your pumpkin Halloween coaster. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions.